Hello, Minic motorway. Well, you might have been clearing the loft and you've come across your old Minic motorway set and you still wondered if it worked. Well, before we can get started on that, we need a little bit of refurbishment because much of this track is over 50 years old now. And in this video, I'm going to have a look at a very easy straight piece of track. Between the two strips was a piece of insulating rubber. And in a lot of cases it's missing, it's gone hard, it's perished, and it means that the gap between the tracks is not even, the vehicles get stuck, and there's even a possibility that they could actually short out. So we need to do this, and we need to have a look at this. And of course in 50 years nobody has been running on this at all, so the track has become tarnished and the contact that the cars will make can be reduced by a dirty track. I find the best way to sort out the track is to take it completely apart and clean it. Taking a shortcut or trying to get an abrasive down these grooves can scratch the track or do a very poor job. So let's have a look at this. And step one, remove the old rubber down the middle of the track. This is often quite hard and can be easily cleaned out with a small piece of by a screwdriver. There we are, one track cleared out. Right, step two, turn the track over, and here you'll see there are two little bits that have been expanded to hold the copper strip in. Simply pinch them, press them in, quick wiggle, and the strips start to come out. Some come out easier than others. Do the same at the other end. And hopefully you'll get on quicker than I am today. One by one, the two strips come out. And we can see here quite clearly that they're quite tarnished. Remember, see which way they go. And here you can see how bent they've got where the rubber has deformed them in the middle. In the strip itself, clear out any remaining rubber that happens to be stuck to it. So it's nice and clean, ready for reassembly. And of course, clean the locking pins. There's nothing worse than a rusty locking pin that it won't go into the next piece of track. These are the locators. And you'll notice that this one has obviously got stuck, and one piece of track somewhere is going to have two of these in. So we must replace that one. And finally, give it a quick wipe down and put to one side. Right, step four I think we're on now. We're going to clean the brass strips. And you can see where on the inside there, some of it is the car has run down. So what we want to do is to make sure there's a nice clean contact. And of course we want to go across the top because the contact for the vehicles also runs on the top of the track. And finally we want to pay attention to the heads and tails where the other track, you can just see it here on this little corner here, it locates onto the next piece of track. So we've got a good, nice connection on there. And the same on this end here, being very careful not to crush the end. Nice and shiny. Now before you put the strip back in, have a look at it and make sure it's running true down one side. And here you can just see there's a slight kink where it's come out, where it's been bent there. So very, very gently, we just want to pull that back into true, or else we'll have a little blip sticking up when we put the track in, and the cars will hit this. That looks better. Let's just double check that. Not quite enough. There's still a little kink out at the back there. You've got to be careful we don't break the strip. Aha. That looks fine. One down, one to go. Again, you can see where the contact goes at the end onto the next piece. That's got it there nicely. Finally, we'll make sure it's nice and clean across the top. It's pretty good. Let's have a look for straightness. No, it's springing up slightly, so just a fraction out. It's a bit easier sometimes. Okay, well now, step 5, we'll reposition them in the right place. Now if you take them out and forget which way round and which way up you've got them, have a look at the one above and you can see, right, always goes in with the little clip pointing outwards. Inside the track you'll find there are two little bobbles, little separators, and the track goes the other side of those. So we pop that in there and pop that in there and slide it back. Push it down. Sometimes you need to pull it up slightly just to pull it into the gap, and the little spring piece that we pushed in earlier goes in. And no, we haven't got it in yet, so we can see the track's not sitting out there. That's it. And you can see here, without proper separator down the middle, that's going to touch the other side. So we'll just pop the other one back in. One there. And one there. And we now must make sure that we've got them flat and level, and they're not sticking up. Excellent. Okay, so we have two options of filling in the insulator. We can buy some new rubber off eBay. Don't underestimate how much you need, because you need double for each length of track. Or we can use the other option, and that is to use some wire out the garage as a separator with the insulation formed by the PVC sleeve. Now you must make sure you get the right gauge wire. If the wire is in too thick, like in this instance, as you push it down, the track will actually slice in through the PVC sleeve and get a connection, and that could short from one side to the other, causing a bit of a bang when you turn everything on. So in this case, we've got some nice grey wire, and of course the colour you use comes out in the middle. Make sure there are no protruding wires at the end, and lay the wire up to the round button. Gently press down along the track to get to the other end. With your pliers, you simply cut off, and a little bit more. Again, making sure there are no protruding wires. Right up to the button. So what you want to do is just to gently press that down and make sure it stays in the right position. And that's without pushing through these PVC sleeve. Probably something flatter and plasticky would probably be a bit better than this screwdriver. So it's a nice snug fit. It's not very even, but you can see what I'm doing. Has to be far enough down in the groove so that no vehicles can catch on it as they come along. Again, you can check that the end here are level and that none of the track is raised up, because if it's raised up, the little vehicles will hit that. So that's done. If you were going to replace the rubber, you can buy the rubber. Again, you do the same process. You just gently stretch it in and push it all the way down to the other end and cut the rubber off. If you've done this set system where you put a piece of wire in, it's always a good job afterwards to check across the tracks that you haven't sliced anything and that there's no current flowing from one side to the other. And indeed there isn't. So here we can see that one side has been done, this side, and this side has yet to be done. Excellent. Job done. Or are we quite finished? When we've had a look along our new piece of track, we can just see here there's a bit of a kink in the track. And that's caused at the back here by not getting the locating lug correctly aligned at the back. And finally, just a quick word on curves, on bends. Exactly the same as a straight, except for you'll see that each strip, because the radius is increasing, can only fit in one slot. So make sure that you get them in the correct order, or else things will not work out well for you.